So the approach to anti-racism has been for a long time censoring the N-word and saying don't be racist. Include African Americans. There should be a certain amount of diversity. You should not have stereotypes override your thinking. And, beautiful, wonderful black people like Denzel Washington or Will Smith are not to be shunned just because of their skin color. Black people should be in our schools and in our universities and at work, and they should be allowed at the lunch counter. So all of these things everybody kind of agrees with. But we censor the N-word. That part of it is a weakness in anti-racism. Because a racist can say, I don't have to censor the N-word. I'm not afraid of speaking English. You censoring the N-word looks stupid to me. And it's a place where I can exploit your weakness and make jokes and make points that are legitimate against the anti-racist establishment. And there are problems with the anti-racist establishment. It gave us Obama, and Obama was a terrible president, expanding our wars from Iraq and Afghanistan into wars against Syria and now Yemen, and we've grown in our empire because the anti-racist establishment also has failed to legalize cocaine in 50 out of 50 states. So there's so much work to be done, and we can't fight over censorship because that's all America has. The freedom of speech, First Amendment, is one of the very few things America can point to and say, look at what we've done and stood by. We've allowed a white YouTube narcissist to change his name to Mr. Nigger. People get free speech in our country. That's all we have. And so when we are hypocritical about it and we censor racists, but we propel and amplify the message of inclusion, that hypocrisy undermines us. And it's not necessary because semantics provides a way out where we can redefine the words of hate into words of egalitarianism and decency and respect and, yes, even love. So I say this because I'm proud to be a nigger, and I want to calmly whisper that from the rooftops. I want to calmly whisper that from the rooftops. I want my family to agree with me. I want everyone to get on the same damn page. And the problem with everyone is that pretty soon you go manic and you go extreme and you go ridiculous. And then there's nothing that you can do to recover your reputation because you've become pusillanimous. Because the smaller the concept is, the wider the audience seems that you should be able to talk to. But the truth is, sometimes you need complexity to a subject in order to engage a larger crowd. But complexity turns away stupid people. And that's a problem with niggeritarianism because there's jargon that goes with it. Beniniger, maligniger, N-word rights, N-word phobia, onomatophobia, the N-word as a root in the language or a suffix or a prefix, the idea that niggerometry is a waste of time where you count the number of N-words as you enforce your taboo and you count them in order to shame the N-word sayer. That happens, and it happens to the point where people listed the number of N-words in Mark Twain and then censored that classic, Huckleberry Finn, Because why would you allow a word with the N word, nigger Jim, right, is a character in that book? The other thing is people just seem woefully ignorant of the N word. Randall Kennedy, Dick Gregory, David Hughes, that's my name. We've written books with the N word at the title. You can become a specialist in the N word. Niggerosophy is a philosophy. Niggerology is a realm of science and study. The internet has made it so that words can be examined in a new way, in a new light, with new combinatorial analyses, because we have computers to back us up now. It's not like Oxford English Dictionary where you read all the classics and then you just throw out there all of the instances of a word and you leave it at that. Nowadays, we can make algorithms with the N-word in it. We could send it so that every time you get somebody saying, I'm not racist, comma, but, that person gets a proud to be an N-word comment. You know that I get trolls that just say loved it, or even worse, people that are attracted to me for the wrong reasons, that are fundamentally against minorities, but when they talk to me, they do so because I offer them an acceptable N-word, and they want that. They want a community that is saying the N-word for all the wrong reasons. I have that in my audience. How can I convince them that they're N-words? Convince them that N-word rights is a struggle we should seek to actively accomplish. The legalization of cocaine and the regulation of that key drug, so similar to sugar and caffeine. It boggles my mind how we villainized the cocaine user. If you found somebody sniffing cocaine off their dashboard, wouldn't you feel sorry for them more than you'd feel offended or in danger because of them? There's nothing wrong with snorting cocaine, but that reality is unacceptable to the world. So this world is a mess, and we definitely need to work together to fix it. And one of the tools that we can use to fix it is that we can humanize slurs. And humanizing the N-word creates niggering, which you can do to the homophobic F word and the ableist R word and the sanest C word, crazy, which is deeply offensive because it has to do with rejection and mental health. Everybody has a mental health continuum that they move through in their life. Some people bottom out with mental illness that's profound. Those people should not be called crazy and rejected, no matter how bad their behavior gets, because insanity is a weakness, and it is a sickness, and it is a part of being human. Sanism is a real thing, but how are you going to argue that unless you know that bigotry can be split up into tiny little particles, so that niggerphobia, and I keep saying it nice, like Trump says Norway, I say it nice because I don't want hate in my N-word, but I feel passionate about it, and so I preach about it. That's what I'm doing right now. So thank you for spending 10 minutes listening to me do it. But sanism and niggerphobia are part of the particulation of bigotry that the internet allows. And now that the internet is here and we don't have to depend on mainstream media and their censorship, let's use it to make a better tomorrow. Thank you.